Drum roll. Welcome to Daily Bus. I'm such a musical theater nerd.
You can just tell you come alive.
Yeah, I love it. I am Tori, and of course I'm in for Sam today. You just watched a clip of the opening number from last night's Tony Awards. It was hosted by West Side Story star and Oscar-winning actress Ariana DeBose, who performed several musical numbers throughout the night. She killed it, in my opinion. Paris and Prince Jackson were there to support MJ the Musical, which was nominated for 10 Tonys. They introduced the cast, who performed Smooth Criminal. Take a look at MJ. Looks good at this. Annie, are you okay? Another popular performance of the night was Hugh Jackman, who performed a dance number from The Music Man. Take a look at this. All right.
That's the difference between white culture and black culture. And I'm embarrassed about it.
I was just like, it looked like they were tap dancing out fun.
It's like
fun was on the ground.
I'm part of the loser team.
Yeah.
I lost.
It's so true. We all went from dancing, and then they came on, and we were like, oh,
yeah,
man.
that was a rough transition.
That was very funny.
We needed like a middle.
Could you imagine like him getting dressed? He's like, I got to go out there and do this.
Can I just tell you this is a total side note, but like as a comic, especially when you're a young comic, sometimes there'll be like a much more experienced comic, and they are killing in front of you, and you're backstage like, oh my gosh.
I have to follow.
And like people are falling out of their chairs, and you go out there, hey everybody, and they're like, boo.
Yeah, I've been there. Yeah. That's every night for me in stand-up. Okay, so what did you think of the show? I can't get that out of my head. That was very quick. Ariana DeBose, I think, was, to me, the highlight. She sings, she acts, she dances, she's won her Oscar. But that opening number, guys, if you haven't seen it, she also jumps on Andrew Garfield's lap, which was a really fun moment here. She spoke about Black Broadway, queer Broadway. She just brought a modern take to what needed to happen to Broadway. Because as you had said, it was a little whitewash. Let's not talk about that.
Yeah, but I don't even want to go there. I just want to, I think everyone in, on Broadway or in musicals or stage presence, even comedians, it's such a different talent, right? When you can take two, you're doing a movie, it's something different. When you're up there performing 8 days a week for not much pay, and you're giving it your heart, your all, and if you have a moment out there, you're kind of stuck and you got to figure out a way around it. I really love the theater. I don't give it as much appreciation, but when I'm there, I'm really like, wow, these guys are really good.
They are artists.
Yeah.
What did you think?
I think she's in her moment.
Yeah.
I mean, coming off that Oscar win, that was her speech was one of the top tier in terms of being memorable, how she, really just owned who she is and why she's here. And I love seeing people in their moment.
I also didn't know she was on So You Think You Can Dance, an earlier season, and was the Bullet in the original Hamilton. There's a character that plays the Bullet. That was she. Oh, so interesting.
Nice resume she has there.
I mean, right? Another headline from the night, Jennifer Hudson, who joined the elite EGOT club. I'm in there, of course.
Yes, me too.
You and me as well. The actress now has won an Emmy, a Grammy, an Oscar, and a Tony, making her the 17th person to have that title. Another big winner of the night, of course, Angela Lansbury, who took home a Tony for Lifetime Achievement in the theater. It's her 6th Tony, but unfortunately, the 96-year-old wasn't at the show to receive the award, but she gets all the flowers, Angela Lansbury, all of them.
Yeah.
Am I allowed to say that? Flowers?
Yeah, you said it. Well, then you just don't ask for permission. You just say it. Because when you ask, then it loses the credibility.
Okay.
But no, I mean, between her and Jennifer Hudson, just thinking about just her life, and like when we saw her come onto the scene and like with that voice,
the American Idol,
yeah,
right?
the American Idol, and like one of the mega stars that was launched, but also the tragedy that she's gone through in her life. I feel like she is the example of what life is. It's these incredible highs, these incredible lows, and she's still here. Thriving is, I don't even know if that's the right word for an EGOT. To be a new term, but I just look at her and she's truly inspiring, because I think she can show everybody that you can get up, because some of the tragedy that she experienced.
Yeah, I don't know if you were in Chicago during that time, but Jennifer Hudson is our hometown girl. Like, she's a Chicago girl through and through.
Chi-town.
I mean, just when you were talking about it, it's like I can think of so many major moments in her life that I felt something like I was very captivated for or prayed for.
Yeah.
I remember
intensely.
Right.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I remember, like the rises and the tragic falls. Like, she would come into the radio station that I was in to do mornings, and she's just such a pure person, so I cheer for her wins. I am so proud of her. Like, to get to see someone's ascension that way is truly a gift.
And she's so young still.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. Well, get this. A marriage license wasn't the only paperwork Britney Spears did last week. According to her lawyer, she filed an emergency protective order against her first husband, Jason Alexander. Again, not George Costanza. The paperwork was filed after he attempted to crash the wedding on Thursday, showing it live on social media and telling the cops. He was arrested, but the pop star isn't focusing on the drama. Instead, she released this inside look of her big day with the caption, "Fairy tales are real." She also said that she was incredibly nervous and she did suffer a panic attack that morning. I read that about that. What do you guys think about this? And I didn't know if you saw the shot of it. It was like Drew Barrymore, Donatella Versace, Madonna, and one other.
Selena Gomez.
And Selena Gomez and Britney all singing Vogue. And it was like just a beautiful diva moment to see.
Her mom also commented on some of the photographs, right? Which we left out, but she did say, like, "I love you, Britney. This is a fairy tale wedding." Do you think that's like, and her sister, I think, actually liked it.
She liked it and didn't comment. But again, they were not invited, and it's been open on what she feels.
I'm more interested in that side than, hey, look at all my celebrity friends. It's like, it's got to be a tough moment as a family.
Jeff, Erica Torrey, if you ever want to take a temperature check of where your family is, have a wedding. Because weddings are such a weird
You're
thing.
right, yeah.
Because all the families together, there's, relationship issues. There's like hierarchy, like, oh, I guess we're going to have another day for Jeff. He's always been your favorite. Like, stuff comes out at weddings. It's very weird.
It's like someone after 5 drinks. I always say that. Wedding.
I'm sorry. I think I cut off the next
No,
part.
you're okay. It was rolling
okay.
prompter.
Sorry
You're
about
fine.
that.
There was plenty of dancing at Britney's wedding reception. The pop star was seen on the dance floor with her new hubby, as well as many of her celeb friends that I mentioned. We got Madonna, like I said, Selena. Here's the lineup. Drew Barrymore, Paris Hilton were all there. So was Paris's mom, Kathy Hilton. Speaking of moms, Britney's mom, who wasn't invited to the wedding, did comment on her daughter's post saying, "Your wedding is the dream wedding, and having it at your home makes it so sentimental and special. I am so happy for you. I love you."
Megan, our producer, thank you for coming up between commercial breaks and explaining how everything's going to work, and we just totally bombed that, that
love you,
part.
Megan.
It's my bad. It's my bad. Yeah, but this is what I was talking about.
Yeah.
I care more about this than the carriage and all that other
Do you believe the mom?
junk.
Do you believe her mother?
I think any mother, regardless of what the situation is, because a lot of people will go to weddings begrudgingly just because they don't want to look back and be like, wow, I wasn't there for my kid.
Right.
But to just be completely left out, that's gotta, regardless of the situation, that's really gotta hurt.
Yeah.
Well, if you've been left out of your son or daughter's wedding, then should you comment on social media? Because clearly they're sending a message to you saying they don't want you
That's a good
there
point.
physically.
That's
Do
a
they
good
want
point.
you there digitally? Is the question. I mean, are you not respecting their wishes?
I also was going to say, to me, for Britney, this was about boundaries. Her first time saying, "You are not welcome into what my special space is," and then again, they still did cross that boundary digitally.
Well, I don't know if that's really a boundary crossing, because I think there are people who you don't allow in your inner circle, like definitely never pierce the sanctuary. But if they want to continue to comment and like cheer from afar or not, that's okay. Just know you're not coming in here.
Yeah. Pierce the Sanctuary. Sounds like a cool metal band.
Yeah, it does.
Right?
Yeah.
It was cool. Okay, Mike Tyson is one of the greatest and most controversial boxers in the world. And now we're getting our first look, at the trailer for Hulu's new show, Mike. I like the title. Let's take a look.
You need to embrace your villainy. Now I'm really gonna have some fun.
Trevante Rhodes from the movie Moonlight is playing Mike in the new show. The new show is set to premiere at the end of August. I'm fascinated by this.
I think everybody's been fascinated with Mike Tyson since he appeared on the scene. I remember watching his fights with my dad in the late 80s, early 90s, before he was a champ, like when he didn't even wear the black shorts yet.
It was an event.
Right, and now to see that he's just ingrained himself with our culture. I don't think there's anybody that can honestly say they don't know anything about this man. And he's a boxer, and boxing is kind of a niche sport at this point. It's almost like horse racing, like only a few people are into it. It is. I mean, in terms of like being popular, it's not football, baseball, basketball. And so the fact that he is still at the front of the public's attention, even though he hasn't fought in years and has no plans to, I mean, it shows you something. He's definitely done something. I don't know if you guys have any ideas like why people gravitated towards him so much, almost more than Ali.
I think Mike Tyson is someone who has always very much been who he is, and regardless of how the makeup of one's life, if you're constantly authentic to self without being swayed by public opinion, I think there's like this intoxicating thing about that. Like, why is this person so confident?
Right.
Yeah, there's people like confident people. They're connected.
Well.
Yeah.
Especially in a time in which not a lot of people were transparent. Now we're all like, I feel this, I feel that. He was open before everybody was open. What do you think?
But he was a cultural phenomenon. I mean, he brought everyone together. When there was a Tyson fight on, everybody watched, no matter what neighborhood you were in across the country or across the world even. And then his fall from grace, being 19 and getting to the top of his game, and then falling from that high and losing a lot of his money that he earned, and completely changing who he was and knowing the steps in life. He's a very interesting man. He knows all about like history and about world leaders and about domination. And he's really interesting. Even to this day, he's got a podcast. I could talk about him for a lot of reasons, but seeing that fall and learning from mistakes and coming back and being open about everything that he talks about and what he learned from and where his mistakes were, I think that is what make people gravitate to him and forgive him, because he did some bad things, right?
He did. He was convicted for rape, so we have to be clear about that. You're absolutely right.
He did his time, but he's learned from that, and I find him fascinating.
Well, let me tell you too, in the Buddhist world, he is brought up a lot because of the way he deals with anger. He's a major anger problem. He has worked extremely hard on silencing and negating and working on meditation. So he's brought up as an example.
He also smokes a lot of weed.
Yes, but
I thought you were going to say he smoked that kid on the plane.
That too.
You see how we forget? Like, that's
I will
the
say
thing.
this really quickly. Mike Tyson was the first time that it was planted in my head to go see a psychologist when he sadly lost his daughter. He said his first
from the
thought
treadmill.
was to use his steps for his anger so he didn't go crazy. And that was the first time I was like, oh, maybe I should do that.
I hope they
capture
capture
it.
That was the first time.
Good for you, Al. Coming up on DBL, the hilarious Impractical Jokers. They tell us which celebrity
The
guest.
practical jokers aren't as funny.
They're so regulated.
Yes.
Which celebrity guest was a natural prankster?
Closed captioning provided by.
This June, DBL is holding nothing back.
We're holding you as accountable adults.
It needs to be changed.
This is what you want, and this is what you're gonna get. If we're gonna be real, let's be real.
Honestly, that's why we watch.
Right, yep.
DBL is all new every day.
Very much so. Actually, let's talk about that.
Me too.
I did too. And that it's even on Broadway. Are we on?
I felt very uncomfortable.
I did too.
Even though it's cool.
Lydia did. No, Lydia did.
Wait, are we on or no?
I was going to ask, could I?
Oh, we're on?
Swing by?
I was like, Tiffany's talking, and I don't know if I'm on, but I want to hear what she's saying. We were just saying a little bit the MJ musical. I was surprised when on Broadway because of all of the documentary and the things afterwards, and I don't know. There was stuff that I felt like a little bit weird about seeing. I don't know if I feel like it shouldn't be, but I definitely was like, huh.
Okay.
The elevation of a person that perhaps did some really bad things was. You want to see MJ dance, but then you don't, kind of. So let me know what you guys think. I'm going to be getting. Oh, who smokes more weed, Al or Joe? Oh, we're not going to ask that question. Barbara says, I used to watch the boxing all the time. I don't anymore. It used to be interesting, but the brain injuries surfaced, and it changed my mind on all of it. Yeah, that is very true. That is very true. Remember when he bit the ear? Do you know that, Tiffany? You've heard of that is a cultural thing, right? Yeah, Evander Holyfield. I don't know. Evander Holyfield, they're in a fight.
Maybe you'll like that joke.
Rips the ear off.
Thank you.
Talk about not being hurt. Okay, I did a joke with the ear with Tyson. Talk about not being hurt.
Another boxer bit a boxer's ear this weekend.
I saw that, but that was Evander Holyfield, right?
That he bit, yeah.
I thought Jamie Foxx was supposed to play him. I don't know what happened to that. I think that would have been like Oscar, like right away.
Yeah.
But I don't know what happened. It kind of fell out, but I was just Googling online.
I wonder if it's better to have like a relative unknown.